3 days of winter snow. The first snow fell lightly as Eliza's carriage came to a turn in the road. Soon the snow grew very thick, like a white wall. It was December 1888. A big storm suddenly stopped her near Mr. Alistair Harrington's house. Eliza was travelling to her sister's home for Christmas, but the driver said,
"We must stop."
They had no choice but to ask Mr. Harrington for help. Mr. Harrington was a quiet man who had recently returned from India. He looked shy and surprised when he saw them at his door, but he was polite. He gave them a warm fire in his library and 2 spare rooms. The wind blew hard all night. Inside the house, Eliza and Alistair sat in silence, broken only by the sound of the burning wood. Eliza went to bed early, feeling like she was interrupting his lonely life. When she woke the next day, the world outside was white and very still. The snow was too deep to travel. Alistair met her in the breakfast room. He looked calmer now because his workers could not come and he had no tasks to worry about. The stress left his face. They spent the whole day reading by the large fireplace. Eliza noticed sad lines around his eyes, but they disappeared when he talked about his old books. In the afternoon, they ate simple bread and cheese. They did not talk about important things. They spoke only about the soft light and the quiet snow. He told her he missed a simple Christmas. She told him about a recent family sadness. By night, they felt a warm and easy connection. The third morning was bright. The pale sun shone on the snow and the sky was clear blue. Eliza knew she must leave soon. She found Alistair outside on a small porch, watching smoke rise from the village houses.
"The world is open now, Miss Eliza,"
he said softly. She felt sad that their quiet days were ending. He turned and took her hand gently.
"If your sister's house is too full,"
he said with a hopeful look,
"maybe you will remember the quiet of this place."
Eliza smiled, feeling happier than she had in months. She held his hand once more before her carriage took her away. She knew her future had found a warm and good beginning. Eliza's carriage moved slowly along the cleared road, and she looked back at Alistair's quiet house one last time. Soon she reached her sister Clara's home. Clara's house was full of people, noise, music, and bright lights. Everyone talked quickly. Eliza was happy to see her family, but after the quiet days, the loud house felt too big. She missed the simple peace of Alistair's home. On Christmas Day, there was a big party with many gifts and a large dinner. People danced and sang. The men talked about work and the women talked about clothes. Eliza felt far away from all the fun. She remembered Alistair's quiet eyes, the firelight on his face, the simple bread and cheese, and their long, comfortable silences. One evening, she stood by a window and looked at the cold, dark garden. She remembered his question.
Will you remember this quiet place?
Yes, she remembered it very clearly. She knew she could not forget the peace she felt with him. After Christmas, Eliza stayed 2 more days. When she found Clara alone, she told her about the storm and the good man she met on the road. Clara smiled and asked,
"Did he ask you to write to him?"
Eliza shook her head.
He only asked me to remember his house.
Clara gave her paper and a pen and said,
"Then you must write to him. Tell him you remembered the quiet."
Eliza went to her room and wrote a short letter. She said she had a nice Christmas, but the house was too loud, and she often thought of his quiet fire. She sealed the letter and asked her driver to take it to Alistair's house the next morning. She waited for the new year, hoping for a reply. Two days after Christmas, Alistair was sitting alone in his library. The house felt large and empty without Eliza. He missed the quiet sound of her turning a page and her light, quick questions. When his driver brought a small letter with her handwriting on it, Alistair felt a strong beat in his chest. He opened the letter carefully and read her simple words. She remembered his quiet fire. She remembered the peace. Alistair smiled for the first time in a long while. She had kept the promise. He sat at his desk and wrote a reply right away. He kept his words simple. He wrote that her letter made his cold house warm again. He wrote that his home was too quiet without her. He asked her to meet him in the nearby town of Littlewick on New Year's Day, at the small cake shop near the market square. 2 days later, Eliza was packing her bags when Clara came in holding a letter.
A gentleman's driver just brought this for you,
she said. Eliza opened the letter with shaking hands. It was from Alistair. His words were short but full of hope. He wished to see her again. Clara saw her happy face.
What did the quiet man say?
She asked. Eliza said softly,
He said he missed me. He asked me to meet him on New Year's Day.
On New Year's Day, the morning was clear and cold. Eliza walked alone into the small town of Littlewick. She found the cake shop warm with the smell of sugar and cinnamon. Alistair was already inside, waiting. When he saw her, he stood with bright, quiet eyes.
Miss Eliza.
He said softly.
Mr. Harrington.
She replied, feeling a deep warmth. She walked to him without any shyness, and he pulled out a chair for her. It was not a grand party or a big event. It was just two people sitting at a small table in a warm shop. But for both of them, it felt like the most important and hopeful beginning of a new year.